Today we're going to make a jelly roll quilt. Jelly rolls have 20 strips in them of assorted fabrics that usually match each other. Mine are blues and greens, and today I'm going to show you how to put them together really quick. And we're going to turn it into a portable beach blanket. Alright, so I've divided up my jelly roll into two piles. There were 20 strips with 2 of each color, so I have 10 colors here and the same 10 over here. I'm just going to stack them. Now I'm going to put them together. You take the first one off the top, you're going to put it right side up, horizontally across your machine, and then you pick the second one off the pile, and you're going to put it right side down so the right sides are together. And you're going to put that one from your presser foot towards your body. Now you're going to go from the top left corner to the bottom right corner. You could mark a line if you wish, so that you have something to follow, or you can just eyeball it from corner to corner. I try not to stitch the salvage edge, so I'm not going to make it even like that because there's some salvage going on there and I don't want to use that. So I'm going to just bring the salvage up to the edge of the fabric, and I'm going to stitch from corner to corner. My other corner's down here, so I'm just going to aim for this spot. I back tack a little bit. And what this is doing is giving you a diagonal seam so that when you open it up, it looks like this. Now all I'm going to do is continue to add strips. So again, I'm going to just go to the end of this one and put it horizontally, pick the next one off my pile, and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'll do this through the entire pile until it's all one big, really long strip. It's very quick. It works up very quickly. If you don't want to cut in between everyone, you don't have to. You could just line yourself up with the next set from end to end and sew right on. So that's the last piece, and when you're doing it like chain stitching, you end up with all these pieces attached to each other. So all you have to do at this point is take your scissors, snip the threads in between, and snip off the excess little points. Follow it along to the next one, snip off the little points. Leave yourself at least a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Snip the threads. There you go. End up with all these little triangles, scrap, and one really long strip. So now what you do is you find the end of your strip, and you follow it to the other end, making sure you don't twist. I just follow it along without twisting my strip. And what I'm going to do when I get to the other end is match up the raw edges of this really long strip and the two ends, and I'm going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam and put them together. Very carefully, not twisting. are. There's the end. So what I'm going to do is put them right sides together, and I'm going to just stitch a 1/4 inch seam. I have my 1/4 inch foot on the machine, and away I go. Very end of the fabric, and you can see it's just a fold, so I'm just going to slide my scissors in there and cut the fold so that I can open it out. So now it's 4 strips wide, and again I'm going to open it all the way, making sure that I don't twist it. And I'll put them right sides together. And sew one other time. It's a no-brainer. Okay, so here we are at the end. I just put them right sides together, and when I'm done stitching this, I'll have 8 together. Here we are at the end. So once again, I'm going to snip this. One jelly roll will make a piece that ends up being 32 by 48, which is about a crib size. If you want it bigger than that, I'd suggest 2 jelly rolls. And then you end up with something 64 by 48, which is a better size if you're going to use it as a beach blanket or a throw. (64 by 48). It's a nice size for a beach blanket. So I'm going to take the pieced top and I'm going to sandwich it with this canvas and no batting in between. And I've drawn a pattern on the canvas that I'm going to follow as I stitch the 2 layers together, and that's going to be my beach blanket. Alright, I got to put some pins in to hold the 2 layers together, and I'm going to just do my stitching, my quilting stitching around the pins. I'm going to free motion quilt this, starting in the middle. So I'm just going to stuff all my fabric up under my arm here, the arm of the machine, and I'm going to begin by pulling the fabric, pulling the thread up to the front, the top of the fabric with 1 stitch so that I know where my ends are. And then I'm just going to take a couple stitches in one spot to lock it, and then I'm going to start moving it. And free motion means I can move it in any direction I want. So I'm going to just start following my blue line. These gloves have little rubber grips on them, which make it much easier to control the fabric. I've trimmed the canvas on the back so that it's about a ½ inch bigger than the quilt top. And I'm just going to self-bind the quilt. I'm not adding extra binding. I'm folding the canvas over and blind stitching it, making sure I miter the corners. I'm also making sure that I don't go through and show my stitching on the back of the canvas. Okay, I have about 28 inches of scrap canvas that I cut off the edge of that quilt, and I'm going to turn it into straps. I have 2 of them. So I'm just going to fold it a couple times so that it's nice and thick, and press it, and then I'm going to stitch it shut on both sides. This is the salvage edge, and I didn't cut it off because it's a little bit stronger than the rest of the canvas. It won't stretch as much. It'll make a good strap. But I can cover it inside so I don't see it. So I'll do that to both straps. And I'm going to fold the end in. So here it is, my beach bag beach blanket. It can hold a lot of things. My drink, my towel, my nook, my phone. I don't have a smartphone. My camera, my sunscreen, a number of other things if I want. All I have to do is undo the buttons. And there's the canvas. My phone is ringing. And I have a beach blanket. Hello? It's easy to fold. You fold it in half with the straps at the top. And then you fold it in thirds. And then you fold it in half again. And the buttons are out. You cross the straps. And it becomes your bag. Now you can take your things and put them in the bag. Make sure when you're opening your bag that you're not opening a part where something can fall out. You've got to open it up in the middle before you put your stuff in. And I like to put my drink in with my towel in case it spills, but it's also because it's thermal. It'll keep it icy cold. There you go. Packed and ready for the beach.